Hi, friends. Happy October. This is a really fun episode that you're about to listen to. This is me interviewing a friend of mine. Her name is Heather, and she has a podcast called What's That Whisper? So I took the time, probably last spring or summer, and I interviewed her, and she had posted it on her podcast. And now that I have a podcast, I want to share it with you. So it will be her intro and outro and all the good stuff. And she also is giving listeners 25% off of her online store when you place an order, as you guys being a guest here. I will include her online store in the show notes, and then there will be a special code. I believe it's going to be Shabana 25, and then you can use that at checkout and get some really neat stuff. She has amazing shirts and mugs and other things that are inspiring and uplifting, so when you wear them, you feel good and you're inspiring those around you. I'm actually really looking forward to the mug that she helped me create. It says, "The world needs your magic," and it's a black coffee mug with some fancy lettering on it. So yay. All right, enjoy this episode and let me know what you think.
Welcome to What's That Whisper, the podcast where we uncover the power of inspiration, one whisper at a time. Hi, I'm Heather, your host, on a quest to explore whispers that drive us forward. Join me as I chat with extraordinary guests, diving into whispers that keep them going. We'll discover what fuels them, motivates, and sparks their passion, and how they stay inspired through life's ups and downs. Here is the thing. Each of us holds something inside, waiting to be heard. It's those quiet whispers that nudge us, encourage us, and remind us of our potential. So whether you're seeking a boost of motivation or a dose of heartfelt wisdom, tune in as we explore the power of those whispers. What's That Whisper? Where inspiration finds its voice. Let's listen in and uncover what moves us. And today's episode is a little different because I'm the one being interviewed. My beautiful friend Shabana Knight turns the mic around and asks me the questions about why I moved out at 17, the winding path my career has taken, and how What's That Whisper was born. It's such a gift to be asked questions you don't always think to ask yourself. And sometimes when someone invites you to do something new, whether it's an idea, an opportunity, or even a conversation, you just need to say yes. Not because everything is meant to be a yes, but because sometimes a simple yes can take you somewhere unexpected and beautiful. I hope this episode gives you a little more insight into my own story and remind you to stay open to the whispers, even when you're not sure where they lead.
Hello, this week on What's That Whisper, we are turning the roles where I, Shabana, will be interviewing Heather, so you as the listeners can get to know her a whisper more. We both hope you enjoy this episode and feel inspired to tune into your own whispers and take action. All right, Heather, I'm
so excited.
Me too. I'm already having fun. I love this. So
I love the idea you did.
Yes. All right, let's dive in. Heather, tell us about what was going on in your life around the age of 17, where you were living, what you were up to.
Oh yeah.
Whatever you want to share.
Story. Yeah. So like when I turned 17, I decided to move out of state and finish high school and move with a boyfriend at a time because my household wasn't really safe or I shouldn't be there anymore. So it was kind of depressing. So I decided to leave Alaska and then I moved down to Washington. We were going to end up in Montana, but we ended up in Washington where there's a little more live action, so close to Seattle. And I finished the last year of high school there and got a job and lived in my own apartment.
And then did you end up staying with that boyfriend?
Or for a few years. Then we ended up moving to Oregon and then he just went down a rabbit hole I wasn't into. So I decided I deserve better.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's good that you got out of that. Yeah. At that point, what was your job? And then how did you eventually meet your life partner and things like that?
Well, my very first job was McDonald's in Alaska. And you know what was fun about that is that I worked with all my friends. So yeah. And then that was my second job in Washington. And then I worked at Ross Dress for Less for $4.90.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that's like nothing, right? That's not even a coffee today.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So then my mom got me a job here in Oregon. So I worked it's called Living Enrichment Center. So I think they do yoga retreats out there. I don't even know if they still exist. And then I worked for the post office for a few years. Or maybe, no, maybe like a year. I was just talking about that yesterday. It was not me because it was more of an introvert kind of job because I was just doing all the PO boxes and just putting mail in there and a couple deliveries.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to get out of there. Then I found retail,
And how long have you been in retail?
probably about 30 years.
Oh, wow. You like it?
Well, I remember like when I think I was in maybe 10th, ninth or 10th grade, I pulled some clothes out of a box that somebody was giving us. And I was like, I want to have my own store. So, and then I kind of just started in retail and I love retail. I love the customer service aspect and I've done different jobs in the same kind of area, I guess. Yeah, I've done visual. I did that for a few years, but again, that was like working at the post office again. I didn't get to communicate with the public. And so
Yeah.
that made me an introvert for a while. That's when I met my husband.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And how long have the two of you been together for?
We've been okay, so let me do the math. So almost 25, I guess 25 years this month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but married 15, so 7, 15, something like that.
I don't know. Eventually, it just all blurs together. I'm like, have David and I been married for 17 years or 18 years? Or, okay, how old is the one kid? And then we do the math off
Yeah,
of
that
when.
helps. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got my house and my oldest was a baby, so I know how long I've lived here. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. How long have you had this podcast up and running? And
Oh,
like, how did that come about? Tell us about your
yeah, that's a
podcast.
great question. Well, I didn't think I'd ever do a podcast because maybe I didn't think my voice was important or like I had nothing to say. Not that I don't believe I talk to people, right, and have something to say. It's just, I guess I never really thought about it really. So then being in the community that I am, I'm just like, well, why not? And then it took me, I'd say almost a year to actually get my podcast up and running. So I practiced on my phone on my voice apps, and I would just be like, what do I want to tell? What story do I want to tell? So I just kind of repeat, and I've been writing since I was 16. So hearing my own thoughts was pretty normal to me. It was just in my voice this time. So that didn't really make me that uncomfortable to hear my own voice, which I feel like sometimes that is a trigger for people. And then I just said I have to just finally get this podcast out. And I think because I started What's That Whisper product line before, and then I've just been listening to my own inner whispers and wanting to take you guys with me.
That's so neat. That's actually one of my questions. What is your product line and what's like your favorite thing that you feature on your product line?
I'm wearing a shirt now. It says, don't limit yourself. And so
Oh,
you're
that's
the
so
flower
sweet.
growing this, right?
Uh-huh.
And change your mind, change your life, chase the dreams that are chasing you. I just make them little quotes. So it could be a simple reminder, be like, man, if I wore this today, this is reminding me that I'm going to go after that whisper that's been talking to me.
I love that. Is
Yeah.
it only a clothing line or do you have other products?
I have mugs too and sweat and just so it's called print on demand. So you can make your design and print it on the products that are available. So some things I mean, maybe you could do phone cases and stuff, but my brain is like, we don't need a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so mugs and t-shirts and other apparel.
Yeah. And then I'll do stickers as well.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
fun.
So I'll probably introduce new stuff, but I think
Uh-huh.
sometimes with a house full of boys and a lot of things, sometimes
Yeah.
I feel like we don't need a lot of things at the same time. So I don't know how much stuff I want to produce, but
Yes, for sure.
but I
My
do like a new
goodness.
t-shirt or a new shirt or simple little things that we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are all your boys?
We're at 10, 13, and 16.
Oh my goodness. How do
Mm.
you keep your like sanity and peace? And that sounds like a lot.
Yeah. I think having a community to be in and just writing helps. But really, when I'm writing lately, it's really about working on trying to solve one problem. Maybe not solving is the right word, or just like, hey, Heather, why do you do this? Or let's see how we can make this. Or why did you choose to believe that? I think, and then when I go to sports with my kids and watch their games, I've had a community there. So, like my oldest son, I was like, I'm just going to go hang out with my friends. So it's not
Yeah.
just you feel like you're always busy, right? So you do have me time as well at the same time.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's me. Tonight, my middle son has a baseball game, and I'm like, I'm going to hang out with my other mom friends and my husband as
Oh,
we watch the game. But
yeah.
like, I'm so excited to see my friends.
Yeah, like I've got some great friends because of my kids and
Yeah.
going to school and meeting the parents. So it's really a blessing just to even get out in the community. And my sister-in-law who has older children, one time mentioned, she's like, if I move from where I'm at that I've been forever, she's like, I'll have to build another community, but my kids are not at home anymore and I don't have sports to like, ways to introduce because sometimes it is hard to find people to hang out with if you don't have things outside of just your home.
Yeah, and I think one thing, like obviously we're connected through the Kathy Heller world, but having that supportive community, like I have made so many friends that want to do stuff with their lives and they're so interesting. Everyone has different podcasts or books, or they're just trying to figure out what the whispers are for them. That's helped me a lot to have like community and friendship the
I mean,
older that I
right?
get.
I never knew what to read until like I started listening to Kathy's podcast, and I'm like, all these book ideas, that's what I'm into. It's not like I didn't know what to read. It's I didn't find things that I was interested in until I started stepping into this.
Are there any books you're reading right now that you're really enjoying that you want
Oh,
to
I don't know if
recommend?
I'm slowly reading, but I have The Third Door I'm reading by Alex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit of what that book's about.
It's about he talks about finding the third door on how to get to where, because there's the VIP entrance and there's the main entrance, but there's always a third door to get to where you want to go.
Oh, I love that. That is so cool. I'll have to add it to my reading list.
And then I want to listen to a bunch of podcasts. So there's all that too.
Yes, it's like how do we find like the time to make it happen? But
Yeah.
all right, here's another question I have for you. What is one example where you walked through fear to find freedom?
That's a really good question. Honestly, I think even just recording myself starting a podcast because I think and every day I do, or okay, not every day, but I try if there's something that I think is fearful, like I shouldn't take a picture here in front of all these people. I shouldn't ask them to do that. Well, now I have to do that. So I'm like trying to step into one fear a day, like or something that's fearful to do it. So yesterday I had customers and I've known this lady for a long time because we work together. I was like, hold on, we're gonna take a picture of us because I've known you forever and I don't have a picture of us together. So like that may make them uncomfortable for a minute because they're not ready for their photo. But I just little things like that I want to step in. And I think hearing my own voice and uh, getting my first interview over with was, nervous at first, right? But I feel like I'm always in good company and we're going to take care of each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
love that.
I don't know if that answers the whole question, but I think if we just find what and being a posting something on Instagram too, just
Yeah.
like even gets me more comfortable daily to be like, oh, I can do this again and I can do this again. And then it's like a no-brainer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I I love that. Those are great examples of just to lean into the fear and then overcome this thing that we thought that was so big and like it's really not a big deal. It's
Yeah.
like just baby steps.
Yeah.
So good.
I always think you have to be somebody else when you're posting.
Ugh, yeah, no, just be your authentic self. Ah, that's how we reach more people. Okay, how have you learned to trust your gut and practical ways for the listeners to learn how to like tune in and trust their own gut or whisper?
Well, sometimes I hear things and I'll say something back to somebody or like a little suggestion of what maybe the next step could be. Um, but how do I tune in?
Yeah.
I think just really writing. That's a really good question. I don't know why I'm feeling stuck. Yeah, I think really I just try to listen to my own thoughts and get clear on those. I think because I guess I was thinking about Heather, you need to get clear on what you want. It's like maybe what I wanted yesterday may not be what I want tomorrow. So it's like if I have a direction I'm going to, I think I need to get clear on the direction that I want. And then that kind of helps. And maybe that's writing it down or talking to a friend or these ideas, because sometimes we can just circle and have the same conversation over and over. But it doesn't really take us anywhere, but you're not really talking about the problem or the goal that you really want. I don't know if that answers your question or not.
No, no, that's great. I love it. Okay, here's another deep question. What kind of socks do you have on?
Oh my gosh, that's funny because I put socks on because I was like, if it's chilly, I don't want to put a coat on because I want to show off my shirt. But so I put on some UGG socks and I have my Birks with them.
Nice.
Nice and they're like good house socks.
But no, it's important,
Yeah.
especially in Washington. Oh
Oh my
man.
gosh. But other than that, I have the same black socks. I don't have to match anything.
Oh, I like that. That's smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's a good tip. Okay, this is more serious, but who do you want to be in 6 months?
I think I just want, really good questions. This is going to make me think today.
Oh,
I
good.
think freer of some of the limitations that I've put on myself. And I don't know if I can narrow that down today, but because I think we all put so many rules on ourselves, whether they're from our parents or friends or a teacher or just somebody you met for a minute.
Hmm.
But I want to be freer of some of those things that I've limited myself with.
Okay. Well, that will be exciting to see
Yeah, let's see what
who
happens.
who the
Yeah.
Heather will be. That's so fun.
Maybe I can
Um,
make that a challenge on. Well, and then I've been really like with starting a business, trying really hard to, maybe we talked about this before, but first I have to learn how to do things on social. Then I have to learn how to do an email. Then I have to learn how to post and create a podcast. Right. And like, I don't have my YouTube videos up yet, but like, I like getting really good at those. So it's kind of fun how things come natural. And then people at work ask me technical questions. Yeah. And things you didn't even know that you're good at.
yeah. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, pick it out of your brain somewhere. Like, let
Yeah,
me.
yeah, I don't even know how. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Um, what is the earliest whisper you remember?
Oh gosh, maybe that I had to move when I was younger. Yeah, I think that was kind of hard because you're leaving your family. And the first year I was kind of depressed, even though I had a boyfriend and I was going to school, and it was an alternative school. Not that the kids were mean, but there's young kids with kids, people that were there because they got into trouble at school or, are still into drugs. And I didn't want to be around that. But I think, and then I missed my best friend.
Oh,
Yeah. So
yeah.
like that was hard. And then I went back up there like a year or two later, and then it was just more depressing. So it was better to be down where I was. And I think that there's always a way out. And I think even just writing, I think it helps you find your way through things, even when it kind of hurts.
Yeah. No, I'm big into writing and journaling, and it's a great way to process and
Yeah.
just get everything out. We need to do that.
Yeah. I have one more. Well, and then when I was like, before I was 21, I started going dancing.
Oh, fun.
An underage club, so it was all
Uh-huh.
technical stuff. So that was, but then I did that for years, so it was so fun to do that. And then by doing that, I think that I created new friendships and new experiences for myself, because it was just like work and home, work and home. And I think that gets old, and we always look for something new. And
Yeah.
yeah, and then another whisper would be, I was, I think it was work and dating Damon and being married, and then you're like, okay, and working out with your free time, and then that's all you do for months or a couple of years, right? You're like, okay,
Yeah.
I need something else, and then, well, voila, now you have 3 kids. Yeah. So you're like, I
Oh
need
my
something else, not, or I want something else. And then, I mean, such a blessing to have children. I'm so fortunate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, I'm out of questions.
It's okay.
There was something, of course, I didn't write it down, so I don't know. Um, anyway, so anything else you'd like to share with the listeners while I have you here?
Um, I guess it's a good time. Like, I just want people to tune into their whispers, because I feel like we all get stuck. And are you frozen? Might be frozen.
You are frozen, but I
Hello.
can still hear you.
Oh, there you are. Okay, we're back.
Okay.
Maybe. Okay. Oh, there you are. I just, why I started What's That Whisper is I just feel like sometimes we all get really stuck at in a phase of our lives. And I've
Yeah.
always been, now since I realized, since I moved out at 17, that I'm just going to take, and then I broke up with someone, and then I just take all these steps because I'm like, that's what's calling to me and I need to do that. And I think we all get stuck at that. And then I see a lot of people no matter what age, are still stuck in their same loop because of all the stories that we tell ourselves, that we can't go after a whisper, or that our parents said we weren't good enough, or that we had to be a certain way for our parents. It sucks. And I think that just by sharing my story and like where I've come from, that could help others who have had struggles or not in easy upbringing and such, that there is always light. And I think that I've been very positive growing up, that I always found a way through. And I always knew I was loved. So I think that makes a big difference, even if you grow up in a household where there's substance abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think if it was substance abuse and telling me I'm a piece of crap and, not really caring, I mean, sure, they were doing their own things at times, but I knew that that I was loved by my parents and my grandparents and all the people around me. It was just more their choices. So I think that makes a big difference. But yeah.
How do you feel like your upbringing has influenced how you are as a mother?
I just really want to be there for my kids. So I think that's really important to be with them. And I have a full-time job. So sometimes you feel like you're not there enough, but then you realize when you're here and they're here, that you guys are just doing your own thing. But you want to make sure that you're there for the really important moments, and then that you're there to listen to them when they want to talk to you. So it's like, oh, my 16-year-old wants to talk to me. I'll put everything down. Let's go. Because sometimes I drive them to school and then it's just like, it's early, and I didn't talk when I was 16 to my mom either. I was just like grumpy. So you just want to be there when they want to start opening up, to feel like they've been seen and heard, and have communication with them. Because I think it's really important that they get to speak their own mind and try to figure things out, or tell you that they're having a bad day. And I like to hear about their friendships too, or encourage them to be better and to think differently too.
I love that. Do you guys have any house sayings or anything that you're always like repeating to your kids?
I mean, not too much, but like when I drop off my kids, I'm like, make it a good day. So, and I said to my youngest today, I was like, okay, what kind of day is it going to be? And he's like, a good day. And then I said, I know even when I get in a bad mood, I just have to try to find my way out of it and just find something good about the day.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's
And
easy
then,
to get stuck.
oh yeah, absolutely. And then how do you feel like you keep a good relationship with your spouse? Because life sounds really crazy.
Yeah, I think we need to work on that a little bit too, because we communication issues recently, but I think it'll be more about setting time aside. And sometimes and then sometimes it's always like, oh, we got to do this, we got to do that. So then you just feel like that's all you're ever talking about, is taking care of the kids and all the errands and all the stuff that's on the calendar, but you're forgetting to put yourself on the calendar.
Yeah.
Or your relationship on there. Yeah.
Relationship. So fun. I
Yeah,
know. I agree.
I was going to say, and then I even have to plan time with my girlfriends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so many hours in a day. But at the same time, I find like if I don't scroll so much on my phone, I can get more done. Or if I wake up a little bit earlier, just all those little life hacks. All right, last question. What is one life hack about anything that you would want to share with us today?
Well, I do like I guess Atomic Habits, I get to refer that book, right? But I'm like, I try to create those in my life every day, whether I take my socks off and throw them right in the hamper. Right? Or if
I love that.
not that I do it every single time, or like you brush your teeth, you put your toothbrush back in the drawer. So it's like, and then that's how I'm trying to create building a business. And I've talked about that in my podcast. I'm a full-time mom, and well, not a full-time mom, a full-time employee and a mom. And I create little pockets and little windows, just like you were saying, not scrolling on Instagram, and creating a new habit, whether it's posting an Instagram post or editing a podcast or just creating a new t-shirt. I'm just trying to find little windows to create all that kind of stuff. And I think that's a good habit to do, and I was listening to someone in a call the other day, and it was, I'm not going to do this till this happens. But then when I do this, here's all the 10 spaghetti noodles that I have to do to get to this. But I was like, maybe you should just make the website, even though nobody knows it's there. Maybe you create the Instagram page and then it's there, So I think that's what I've been really trying to work on the last year, just to create those new habits so I can get to where I want to go.
That's amazing. You're so extraordinary. It's so awesome that you chose chose yourself, and here we are.
Yeah.
So, for all the new listeners that are listening in, where can they find you online?
Oh, What's That Whisper everything. So What's That Whisper podcast, what's that whisper.com, and What's That Whisper on Instagram. And then I started What's That Whisper home edit on Instagram as well. So now I'm going to help people do some home editing with some of their stuff. So whether it's a closet edit or a little kitchen edit, so I'll be doing that as well. So I'm just going to start putting out some offers like that.
Okay. What does like a kitchen edit even look like? Can you
Well,
explain that a little bit
sure,
more?
I'd love to. Yeah. It would just be maybe you take everything out of your kitchen cupboards and then you go through and you get rid of all the things you don't want, which I probably need to do myself because
Mhm.
it's becoming like your mind. It's so cluttered of so much stuff. And then like I like to have a clean space when I'm doing something. So and then I'm like, how many lids do you need that you don't use that don't go to all your Tupperware stuff, right? And I bought
Yep.
new pans, and then I realized the other day I was like, oh my God, I never got rid of the old pans. So I needed, so then we just do that because then it creates more space for breathing room.
I love that. I've been in the cleaning and organizing declutter space for a while, and it's the same thing. I like that you said home edit. I've never heard it phrased like that. I'm gonna start using that. That's smart. Okay.
Yeah, it's just
Thank you.
simple. It's not that,
Yeah.
I can do something really small and we'll just figure out, I'm not sure I want to like help somebody move and all that stuff, but we'll just see what happens. And then,
Mhm.
because I think then it's going to help clear your mind and you can actually hear the whispers as well.
Oh, I like how you tied that in. That's really smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know about you. Do you like a clean desk like when you go to work?
Yeah, the other day I put on my to-do list and I told my accountability partner, I was like, I need to declutter the whole office, but mainly like the desk and the space around the desk because then I can focus because I'm not like so
Yeah.
distracted.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. Yeah, there's lots of stories.
Well, and I could say
Declutter.
I'll say one more thing about that.
Yeah.
Because I've been focusing on business stuff and things that I
Mhm.
want to do that help me grow as a person and in life, I've taken away a little bit of the cleaning because it's
Okay.
not, because it does, yes, it makes my mind feel clear and the house looks good, but in
Mhm.
the end, it doesn't really take me to where I want to go.
Yeah.
Yes, freeing up the extra pans, yes. Create space for new things to come in, yes, but not
Yes.
always having a perfectly tidy house isn't
Mhm.
really going to get me to my goals that I want.
Yeah, you have to
Which is weird
prioritize.
for me. Yeah, it was weird because when I had 3 days off a week, it'd be clean, 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 clean. It has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And then you're just exhausted.
Mhm. Yeah, I'd much rather declutter than clean my own space. But if a place is already clean, like I have my cleaning clients, I'd rather just go to their house and just clean real quick. It's
Yeah,
like get to listen to my music, it's podcasts,
yeah,
it's great. So,
yeah, it's great.
hmm. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
I don't think so. I just really enjoy the fact that you asked me to be interviewed on my podcast.
Yes, it was really fun, and I'm glad you took me up on this opportunity and hoping this will lead me to interview more people on other people's podcasts because it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Oh, why not? I mean, we got to put those offers out there because those are whispers just as well. And
Yeah.
then somebody hands you an offer and then you don't even take it at times because we think that we don't need it or it shouldn't be offered to us or whatever reason you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, for sure.
yeah, thank you.
All right. You're welcome, and I will see you later.
Yeah. Um,
Introducing our trendy and uplifting tees, designed to help you embrace the power of positivity. Each shirt is more than just a piece of clothing. It's a daily reminder to inspire, encourage, and chase after your dreams. With their vibrant colors and motivational quotes, our t-shirts are here to remind you that you are capable of achieving greatness. So go ahead, wear your dreams, and let the world know that you are ready to be bigger than your biggest dreams. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of What's That Whisper? We've looked deep into the realm of our inner whispers, uncovered hidden truths, and shared captivating stories. Your support means everything to me. So if today's episode resonated with you, don't hesitate to spread the excitement by sharing it with someone in your life. By sharing our whispers, we can help each one of us grow. Stay tuned for more insightful whispers, and remember to keep listening closely to the whispers within.
Hey you, yes you. Thank you so much for listening to Organized Chaos, Stories with Shabana. If you love this episode as much as I did, hit that subscribe button, leave an outstanding review, and share it with a friend who needs some inspiration. Thank you for being part of this community. Remember, in every bit of chaos, there is always a story waiting to emerge. Who knows, maybe sharing your story might inspire others to share theirs. The possibilities are endless. Let's live in the possibilities. This podcast is sponsored by Happy Mail. I created Happy Mail for when you don't have the words, Happy Mail does. Happy Mail sends handwritten cards of encouragement that uplift, comfort, and reminds everyone they matter. Happy Mail is better than a McDonald's Happy Meal, spreading kindness, not calories. Click the link in the show notes and get your Happy Mail sent ASAP. Limited to U.S. residents only.